Hi everyone, welcome to this GCSE Foundation Revision video. There's 64 days to go into your GCSE Maths exam, and today we're going to be looking at factorisation. So yesterday we looked at how to expand brackets. Today we're going to look at how to put expressions back in brackets, or how to put the brackets back in. So we're going to look at factorising today. If you got the Corbettmaths revision cards, I highly recommend card number 53. That goes through how to factorise expressions. So that card will be useful for you. So in today's video, we're going to look at how to factorise. So let's get started.
Okay, let's have a look at today's topic. So today's topic is factorising. So we've looked previously at expand and brackets. So today we're going to be looking at factorising. So we're going to be putting the brackets back in. And in this video, I'm going to go through some examples and then I'm going to give you some questions to try yourself. Now feel free, if you want to just try the examples yourself, to press pause and to try them yourself. If you feel confident with factorising or you just want to give it a shot, feel free to press pause at any time and to try the questions yourself. So the first question says to factorise 15x plus 20. So we want to put the brackets back in. So we want to think, what did we expand to get 15x plus 20? Now both of these are divisible by 5, so I'm going to put 5 outside of the brackets, and then I'm going to open up the brackets, and then we're going to divide both of the terms by 5, and then close brackets, and that's it. And if you can find the highest common factor, what's the biggest thing you can divide both of these by, which in this case is 5, and then to find what goes inside the brackets, you just divide. So we've said 15x and 20 are both divisible by 5. Now let's divide both of them by 5. 15x divided by 5 would be 3x. Then we've got a plus sign, and 20 divided by 5 is 4. And that's it. So if we were asked to factorise 15x plus 20, the answer would be 5 bracket 3x plus 4, close brackets. And if you check it, 5 times 3x is 15x, and 5 times 4 is 20. So that's it. Okay, let's have a look at our next one. So this time we've been asked to factorise 12y subtract 36. So we want to see what we can divide these by. Now we could divide these by 2 or by 3 or by 4, but actually I can see that the largest number we can divide both of these by is actually 12. So I'm going to put 12 and then open brackets, and then I'm going to divide both of these by 12. 12y divided by 12 would just be y. Then we've got to subtract, and 36 divided by 12 is 3. So if we were asked to factorise 12y minus 36, the answer would be 12, open brackets, y minus 3, close brackets, and that's it. So we've factorised this. Okay, let's have a look at 2 more questions. So this time we've been asked to factorise w squared plus 8w. So we want to see what we can divide both of these by, and if we have a look at them, they've both got w's, so let's divide both of them by w. So let's take our w outside the brackets, and then let's divide both of these terms by w. So w squared divided by w will just be w, and then we've got plus, and then 8w divided by w would be 8. So because we had w in both of these terms, I took w out, I factorised, I took the w out, and then I divide both of them by w, and I got w, open brackets, w plus 8, close brackets, and we can test it. W times w is w squared, and w times 8 would be 8w. So that's it, so we've factorised it. Okay, now let's have a look at one last example. So this time we've been asked to factorise 4y squared plus 6y. Now here, we can actually divide both of these terms by 2, and we can divide both of them by y. So I'm going to take 2y out as a common factor, and then open up our brackets, and let's divide both of them by 2y. So 4y squared divided by 2y, well 4 divided by 4 is 2, and y squared divided by y would be y. Now let's just check that, 2y times 2y is 4y squared, fantastic. And then plus, and now let's divide 6y by 2y. Well, we've taken a y out, and then 6 divided by 2 is 3, so it'll be 3. And let's just check that, 2y times 2y is 4y squared, and 2y times 3 is 6y. So that's it, so we're factorised. Okay, now let's have a look at some questions for you to try. So feel free to pause the video now and to factorise both of these. Okay, so if I was asked to factorise 27x minus 45, I can see both of these are divisible by 9. So we're going to take 9 outside the brackets, and let's divide both of them by 9. So 27x divided by 9, well 27 divided by 9 is 3, so that'll be 3x, and then minus, and 45 divided by 9 is 5. So that'll be 9 brackets 3x minus 5, close brackets. And we can test it. 9 times 3x is 27x. And then we've got our minus, and then 9 times 5 is 45. So that's it. Okay, next I asked you to factorise 4x plus 12y. Now in terms of the letters, one's got x and one's got y, so we can't take any letters out, but we can have a look at the numbers. We could divide both of these by 2, but actually 4 is the highest common factor of 4 and 12, so let's put our 4 outside of the brackets, and let's divide both of them by 4. 4x divided by 4 would be x, and then we've got plus, and then 12y divided by 4 would be 3y, and that's it. 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times 3y would be 12y, and that's it. Okay, let's have a look at another 2, so feel free to press pause and to factorise these yourself now. Okay, so if we were factorising 100x minus 40, I can see we can divide both of these by 20. So I'm going to take 20 outside of the brackets, and then open up the brackets, and then 100x divided by 20 would be 5x, and then we've got minus, and then 40 divided by 20 is 2. So if we were asked to factorise 100x minus 40, the answer would be 20, open brackets, 5x minus 2. And let's just check it. 20 times 5x is 100x minus, and then 20 times 2 is 40, and that's it. Okay, our next one, I asked you to factorize w squared minus 5w. So here we can take out a w. We can divide both of these by w, and we would get w squared divided by w would be w, and then minus, and then 5w, we've taken out the w, so we'd just be left with 5. So the answer would be w, open brackets, w subtract 5. And we can check we're right. W times w is w squared. We've got our minus, and w times 5 would be 5w. So we've got w squared minus 5w. Okay, let's have a look at two more questions. So again, feel free to press pause and to factorize these. Okay, so if I asked you to factorize 2x squared plus 10x, both of these are divisible by 2, and we can also take an x out as well. So I'm going to take our 2x outside of the brackets, and then divide both of these by 2x. 2x squared divided by 2x, well, that just leaves us with x. So 2x times x is 2x squared. And then we've got our plus, and now we're going to divide 10x by 2x. Well, we've taken our x out, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. And that's it. So if we were factorizing 2x squared plus 10x, the answer would be 2x, and then open brackets, x plus 5, close brackets, and you've got that. Well done. Okay, let's have a look at our last example. So we had 24y squared subtract 18y. So we can take a y out, and actually let's have a look at the numbers. We've got 24 and 18. They're both divisible by 6. So let's take 6y out, and then open brackets. 24y squared divided by 6y. Well, 24 divided by 6 is equal to 4, and y squared divided by y is y. Then we've got our subtract. Then we've got 18y divided by 6y. We've taken a y out, and then 18 divided by 6 is 3. So the answer would be 6y, open brackets, 4y minus 3, close brackets, and that's it.
And that's it. So in this video, we've looked at how to factorize expressions. So we've looked at putting those brackets back in. I hope you found it useful. If you have found it useful, please like it and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, I'd highly recommend that you have a look at your 5 days with your GCSE exam being 64 days to go. It's useful to be doing your numeracy 5 days, your foundation 5 days, and even your foundation plus 5 days. And that little and often approach will have a massive impact in terms of your confidence and being able to tackle questions. So I really hope you found this video useful. Tomorrow, the next video will be out at 3 o'clock. So I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers. Bye.